Hey everybody, thank you for hanging out with me. This is Sarah Harnish. I'm a Young Living Diamond and the author of Unstuck, How to Talk to Humans and Get Them to Respond to You. And if you're having a hard time getting people to come to classes, even in the environment that we're in right now, you need to go read that book. I've got it up on Amazon, got it up on my website, oilabilityteam.com. And one of the things that we train on in Unstuck is a really strong follow-up system. And part of that is the Diamond Rising deck, you guys heard me talk about earlier, and we'll hit on that a little bit later on exactly what it looks like when I'm signing people up. And then also Fearless. This is built right into Unstuck as well. So I thought that we'd do a little training on Fearless, and I haven't talked about Fearless in a couple of years on this page, and just kind of recap how I'm using it, especially in an environment where I'm teaching Zoom classes. But before I do that, I'd like to take you to the team page because I've got some presents for you guys tonight. If I go up to oilabilityteam.com. Here we go. And there's the Unstuck page. Hi, Darius. It's good to see you. And then go to Share. Share's where all the free stuff is on my website, and there's a lot of free stuff. PowerPoints, Core 4 classes, corporate interviews, farm tours, Silver and Up interviews, Spanish resources, Fearless, Game Plan, Ignite, Unstuck, Moses Blessing. And we're going to be adding to the page also what I call the Abraham Blessing, which is out of Unstuck. So if I go to Fearless, though, Fearless has its own page. Fearless is a really powerful tool for Essential Rewards. It is really good at explaining why to oil. I just talk about how I use it, and there's some sample pages from the book, and these are new on the page. So we got a sample letter if you're going to send it out for follow-up, and then there's some things, a script. There's a whole class and a printable calendar and all sorts of stuff. But the new things that we just added are these videos that we're shooting that just sort of walks your team through it. So you can do kind of like a little mini Fearless boot camp with your team. You just click on day one and you'll see the day one video sitting right there. Bam, there it is. And you can just, look at Facebook picks the best pictures. Isn't that awesome? But you just right click and copy, and you can paste it right into your team page. So it's super easy to be able to share. But we'll just have the class videos up there, and then there's some graphics. The ones that I've been using to talk to you guys, we now made them available for you for free. So you can click on those. This just kind of walks you through the Fearless. And you can break it up into however many days you want to do it if you're doing your own. But I give you 10 days of graphics. I'm not sure we're going to run 10 days. And then there's also countdown graphics that you can use as well when you're teaching classes and stuff. So there's a whole Fearless class. What I didn't tell you is we're also going to be releasing a PowerPoint for Fearless that's going to make it easier for you to teach. You've also asked me for the mini as a textable class, the Game Plan Mini, and you've asked me for a teacher training PowerPoint. And so we're working on developing all of that stuff, as well as CBD, which is coming. I'm flying on CBD. So let me just jump into Fearless. This is the one that we're training off of. If you have that purple stripe on the top, then you know that it's been updated with the new premium starter kit. And it also follows and aligns Unstuck. So it's got some cool stuff in it for Unstuck. There's a lot of different resources out there for training on the starter kit. Way more than I had when I first started with my business. And I am really, really careful not to poo-poo any other resources because honestly, I use them too. I was just on Life Science Publishing's website ordering resources and tools. I love Aaron Rodgers' website. There's several sites that I order off of, and I use them. I just use this one first because I really want people to understand the why behind oiling. And most of what I found is a lot of stuff is checklists or photos or, it's, uses of the starter kit, which is awesome. And people need that. That's what I use when I'm sending them follow-up mail, when I'm inviting them to a Core 4 class, when they're excited, when they're not on Essential Rewards yet, when I'm working through my Diamond Rising deck, I'm just doing a little happy mail with them. I will use all of those resources and tools. But I really love giving Fearless first because it explains, long form explains. Nobody's typing an explanation out, all right? It's a book. It long form explains why are we oiling? What's the purpose of oiling? Most of us never had oils in our life in any form before we started oiling. It's a completely brand new concept. And so people don't understand why we start swapping things out and why it matters so much. And so I felt that explanation was really needed. I think graphics are phenomenal, and I think picture books are phenomenal, and I think simplicity is really good. I think showing the uses of the starter kit is really good. But if people don't, and I use all of those things, but if people don't grasp the concept behind a clean living lifestyle and don't, sit down and really process through why they're cleaner on their sink, they shouldn't be there, and why they shouldn't be using that dish soap, and why they can use some things for preventative maintenance, to prevent the body from getting to certain places, then, for support, for wellness, putting the body in that place. If they don't understand the need for that, then they just live in this place where everything's okay and everything off the store shelves is okay, and they don't question anything, and they don't label read, and they don't research stuff. And so the goal of Fearless is very, very different from anything else that's out there. The goal of Fearless is to get them to stand down and say, wait a second, what? Burning a candle is the same as smoking a pack of cigarettes? I didn't know that. Like, what? Are you kidding? Having a car diffuser in my house is, I didn't really realize that comparing, this cereal versus the Einkorn cereal was something that I really needed to pay attention to. I thought my organic cereal was just fine. I wasn't really looking at the grams of sugar. I figured if I wasn't drinking pop and eating, cookies every single day, I was okay, or not eating fast food. But we got to take it farther than that. We have to question the labels on everything, and we have to have an eye of scrutiny bringing things into our home. And that's one of the things that I love about Young Living, is because it's not just oils. I mean, there's 600 products. You can swap out your sunscreen. You can swap out your acne treatment. You can swap out your cough drops. You can swap out what you clean your house with. You can swap out your supplements. And when you're in that place with that discerning eye, that's when you start to question everything that's in your cabinet. And that's why this book is so important to the Young Living community. I purposely wrote it very tiny. You guys know if I want to write, I can write, right? Like Unstock's almost 500 pages. I mean, that book is a doozy. Fearless, it's a little tiny, it's a little itty bitty 60-page read, and it's small. I'm showing you the one off of Amazon, but let me grab, I've got one right here that is off of my website, which is a little bit of a smaller book. Let me reach in and grab it. It's gone all the way to the back. This is what it looks like. Okay, it's a little tiny, like $1.25 book. It's very affordable, easy to do in mailings. I've actually stuck these in envelopes, like regular letter envelopes, and mailed them that way rather than doing the bubble wrap and all that. So I'm trying to design a tool that communicates what you're trying to communicate, and that is that discernment. And I don't feel like there's a lot out there that communicates discernment. We have a lot of tools that train the starter kit that are phenomenal. And we have a lot of tools that train on Essential Rewards that are phenomenal. But if your person doesn't really, truly grasp and understand the lifestyle, step back and say, okay, no, I really probably shouldn't bring that into my home. They're not going to stay on ER. When a pandemic hits or when their husband loses their job, this is going to be the first thing to go. They have to understand that it's a safety issue for their family before they're going to put this above the other choices that they're making in their life and start swapping things out. You're asking people to break habits. You're asking people to stop drinking things and eating things and cleaning with things sometimes that they've used for 20, 30, 40 years. So to break a habit, that's a big deal. Like that's a really, really big deal. And that's why this book is so important, because we never link how we feel with ingredients ever. We never ever make that connection. And unless we eat something and we get sick from it a couple hours later, we don't say, oh gosh, I probably shouldn't be in my home, because toxins build up. They build up in the body. You're going to feel worse in your 30s than you did in your 20s, and worse in your 40s than you did in your 30s, and worse in your 50s. And people ask me all the time, well, I can't live in a bubble. I can't do this perfectly. Nobody asked you to be perfect. You just have to ask yourself what quality of life you want. How much you want your joints to ache as you start aging, right? How much you want it to show in your skin. How many ailments do you want to have, and how severe do you want them to be? Because the reality of the situation is there's a consequence for every single choice that we make. Every single thing that we eat, every single thing we clean with, everything we put on our skin, everything we breathe in, every single thing that we bring into our house, there's a consequence for it. And so you got to stand down and ask yourself, is the consequence worth the decision? And that's the point I'm trying to take your new oiler to, without scaring the tar out of them, in a very gentle way, step by step, in a very tiny book that can be read in 2 hours or less. That's why we call it Confidence with Essential Oils in 2 hours, because I really want them to stand down and just say, no, I need to do better at this. And I'm not going to be perfect in a month. But you know what? I'm going to start with my laundry room this month. That's the place I'm going to begin. And then I'm going to start with some of my cleaning supplies in my cleaning cabinet next month. And that's the place that I'm going to migrate to. And it's okay. It's okay to take this as fast or slow as I need to, because my convictions are good enough, and every poison I get out of my house is a good choice. right? So that's where I'm working from with Fearless. And I haven't seen anything like Fearless since I wrote Fearless a couple of years ago. So you might pick up the book and say, man, this is really wordy. I was kind of just looking for a little 5-page guide, just something really quick. That's not the purpose of Fearless. The purpose of Fearless is to deep train your team on ER. That's the purpose of Fearless, to take them to a level where they start questioning every single thing that's in their cabinets, every single thing that's in their fridge, every single thing that's in their bathroom, every single thing that's in their closet. They start looking at everything. And you can't train that in a picture book. And you can't train that with a book that has 200 words in it. Right? You got to get into that place where they have conviction and you hit them on a spiritual level. And that doesn't happen with photographs. As much as I love books with photographs and I use books with photographs and I love using them to train certain concepts or, to just focus on the starter kit. But if I want to train the lifestyle, this is the only book I know of that really takes them to that level. And it's not a little DIY book. It's not, hey, let's make this, make your blends, make your diffuser recipes. No, it's conviction. It's the reality behind why you guys place an essential rewards order every single month. Why do you do it? You don't want stuff in your house that you don't agree with, right? You have drawn a line in the sand and said, I'm protecting my family, period. And I may not be perfect, but I'm going to do better than I was doing yesterday. And that's the place that we want to bring your brand new oiler to, because nothing is going to train them on ER like label reading, right? Nothing. I mean, you can hand them 100 books and say, all right, we're going to learn about oils of the Bible now, and now we're going to learn about a raindrop, now we're going to learn about the feelings kit, and that's awesome. But nothing is going to get your person on essential rewards like discernment and getting them to that place where they say, all right, you know what? I just don't want this stuff in my house anymore. Karen, I'm going to talk to my publisher and see if we can offer them in 25s. It gets to a point where the shipping costs more than offering the smaller bundles, and it's actually better for you to just go grab it on Amazon. So we'll have that discussion if the 25 is worth it. On my website, Karen was asking is, can we do less than 50? What I have always done is I just split it with my team. I just split it with my leaders. I coach 9 of my leaders today, all day long, as we're getting ready to prepare for Crown Diamond. And I built Fearless into every single one of my trainings. So train your leaders to train their leaders to train their people on Fearless, because it is the best ER guide that I have ever seen, because you're beating that spirit of everything on the shelf is okay. All right, that's what you're fighting against. And you're fighting against habits. And you got to do that with a book that has a lot of power. That's not overwhelming, but has a lot of power and a lot of punch. And so that's the purpose of Fearless. I probably should have told you all that in video 1, but I just wanted you to understand the heart behind the book and why I don't change it, and why I don't make it 10 or 15 pages long, and why I don't do a lot of pretty photography in it. Every time I print in color, guys, it jacks the price up for the books. And that's why when you go on different websites and you order things printed in color, you're going to spend $3 on the books. You're going to spend $5 or $6 on the books. I wanted this at $1. And the only way I can do that is printing it in black and white. So I love photography. I love color. I'm a blue, but my goal was to get a message across and to keep it cheap for you so it was duplicatable. And that's why it's not super pretty. I mean, we have great graphic artists that do wonderful fonts and do really cool things and graphics and stuff inside the book. But the reason I don't use photography is because I'm watching your budget. That's my goal. We could make things stunningly beautiful, but I want to make sure that you can afford it. All right. So let's jump into topical uses. Just order larger amounts and split it with your team. That's my advice. But I will talk to our publisher and see if it's worth it with the shipping to do smaller amounts, okay? And if it is, then we'll do it. And if it's not, then we'll probably leave it at 50, all right? Valerie says, I'm just starting out. Should I wait until I'm making some money to spend the extra money, or just go off and start using the amazing books? All right, I'm going to say something that probably no author ever tells you. And it's because I lived in the projects for 12 years, and I started my business on $20 a week. And so I am a really, really firm believer in Dave Ramsey's training. If you guys have not gone to Dave Ramsey's website, I love his stuff. Financial Peace University is absolutely worth the money. It is from a biblical worldview, so I'll just give you that disclaimer on it, but it's phenomenal. And John and I have gotten debt-free using that program, and we're able to help other people because of that program. And one of the things it says in there, and I've carried that biblical principle into my network marketing business, is do not spend more than you make. Don't do it. So if your paycheck right now is $70 or $60 a month, do not buy my books. Don't buy my books. You just heard me say that out loud. Don't do it. Who is Dave Ramsey? He's a financial advisor. And he's a really gifted financial advisor that's helped a lot of people get out of debt. And I just love his stuff. There's a course that he has called Financial Peace University that I talk about in Game Plan and in the boot camp, and I just highly recommend it. It's just phenomenal. John and I live by those principles, and and the core heart of it is spend less than you make. You're never going to be in trouble if you spend less than you make. And so every author everywhere is going to tell you go buy their book, and every diamond everywhere is going to tell you invest your check into tools and grow yourself. Do personal development. Use tools for connecting with your team. Tools are good. Every network marketer everywhere will tell you to use tools. I'm probably one of the only people out there that's going to say don't spend more than you make. So if you're a star and you can't afford Fearless, do not buy Fearless. Don't do it. All right. Don't do it. What I would tell you is go utilize the free tools on my website. I've given you so much stuff for free, guys. Like, it doesn't cost anything to do the Core 4 classes. I'm training my team all around the world right now in Sweden. We just did a training with a team in Sweden today, Australia, the Philippines, all around the world. The Oilability team, I train them with the exact same tools I've given you guys for free on the website. So go under Unstuck. Go grab the Core 4 PowerPoints, download Zoom to your computer, download the PowerPoints to your computer, and start teaching classes so that you increase your paycheck, so you have enough in your check to be able to order Fearless and use that as a follow-up resource. One of the first tools I would invest in is Fearless and the Diamond Rising deck. Okay, those two tools are probably the first thing. And then right after that, if you're a brand new builder, go get Ignite for yourself. Drop $5 and go get Ignite and read that and start getting some business training. Those are places I would begin. But you know that you can start your business with a script, a kit, and a human, right? And the scripts are on my website and they're free. 101 Oils, 102 Thieves, 103 Ningxia, CBD is coming. So go grab them and start teaching classes. Do not spend. Yeah, so sick of being told to buy this book to grow to star. You don't need to buy anything to grow to star, guys. I mean, I wrote Game Plan to help you. It's a wonderful tool. I wrote Unstuck to help you. It's a tool. But please hear my heart when I tell you, as a diamond and as a friend, I hope you guys would consider me a friend. I've been running this page now for 3 years, and my heart is always for you. It's not against you. Please don't spend more than you make at your business, all right? You have enough out there. You have enough free tools out there. You have enough know-how. You have a personal story. Young Living now has just put that beautiful Rise book together. Go in your virtual office. Go print off the Rise book. Share your story. Go grab the 101 PowerPoint or the script. Teach it and use the Rise book to track your stats, and use that as a business building tool for your team. So there's enough free stuff out there that you don't need to spend money to be able to grow your business. But I do think that there are tools that will make it easier, so that when your check is at the point where you can afford $20 on a Diamond Rising deck, and my heart, guys, I would give it all to you for free. If I could afford to print on the paper and do all the shipping and send it all to you, that I would do that for you. But it costs to be able to print stuff. So we put it at the lowest price point we possibly can. John and I make very, very, very little off of the products and stuff that we've generated. And we put stuff on the website to be able to give you tools to grow for free. So I pray that it really does help you. If you are a star, if you are a senior star, and you make just enough to cover your ER order, then go and teach the Core 4 classes until you have a little bit extra in your check and you can invest in things. But I would tell you, these help me a ton tracking my team. Like those Diamond Rising deck cards, oh my word, like game changer. I mean, my ER percentages were, 20s and 30s, and now they're almost 50% on our team as we've trained our team to go across and use it. My personally enrolled is in the upper 80s using these cards and using Fearless. So if you're having a hard time getting your ER percentages above 20, 30, 40%, start using some tools as that check comes in, and it's going to just help you. Rise is a tool that Young Living has put together, that corporate has put together, that is a business tool that you can print off for free. It's in your virtual office. I think it's under the member resources button, and it's a printable tool that you can use to track your growth as you're growing your business and to be able to share with others. It gives you sharing tips. There's interactive elements of the book. I think it's phenomenal. I think it was put together really, really, really well, and I would highly recommend that you use it. So if you're looking for free tools, utilize some of the stuff that's in the virtual office. We didn't have that stuff when I started building, That's why I wrote Game Plan. Utilize some of the stuff on the oilabilityteam.com site. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. I'm not trying to make something off of you. So, but in the same breath, if you're in a place where you can utilize tools, every network marketer out there advocates for them. So utilizing the CDs that are on my website and sending those out, utilizing textable classes, utilizing Fearless, utilizing the Mini. It's the only prospecting book, that's Young Living specific right now. It's $1. So utilize some of those tools as your check grows, because it's just going to help you reach more of your audience in a very authentic, relatable way. Okay? So I have the Fearless book, and I want to get another book. Which one do you recommend that I read? Well, Fearless is the only aromatherapy book that I've written so far. I am a certified clinical aromatherapist. I don't talk about that very much because I really don't want you guys going out and getting aromatherapy certifications. So I think it slows you down when you're trying to rank up. But I'm very careful in putting aromatherapy content out there because the rules for compliance seem like they change constantly, and I don't want you to get in trouble, and I don't want to get in trouble. So I wrote Fearless compliantly. I've written the Core 4 scripts compliantly. We've had tons of people go through those scripts and vet them to make sure that they're safe for you, for being able to share. I am working on a script book. I want to release it as soon as I possibly can, but I'm just so careful. So I've just kind of stayed in the realm of business tools right now. So if you're looking for something that is specifically aromatherapy training, I've got the Core 4 classes on the website, and I have Fearless. I would recommend some of Jen O'Sullivan's stuff. Her stuff is really well written. So is Lucy Libido's stuff is really well written. David Stewart is one of my favorite authors. His stuff is really well written. If you're looking for business tools and you just like my writing, then the next thing I would recommend would be the Mini, because I'd like to put a fire in you for the business because it freed me. And so I just love to shout from the mountaintops how amazing Young Living is and why you should roll up your sleeves and fight. Get out there and teach classes and do things that are hard and scary. All right, let me jump into topical uses of Fearless. I could talk to you guys all day long, but this is going to be a really long video and you're not going to like it later on. So topical uses, you're going to have to tell your team to start the video in this place now because I've been answering questions at the beginning. Are you ready to get hands-on with your oils? Are you ready to take your oils to the next level? If you're following along, we're on page 33. This section is pretty cut and dry, so here's my in-your-face aromatherapy instructor advice. Get the oil on your skin. There you go. It's like really, top notch, right? That's as hard as it gets. So most of your learning comes through experimenting. And as a certified aromatherapist, there's I've got some thoughts on pursuing certification before beginning to use the oils. I learned just as much by playing around with my oils as I did, and by doing my own experiments, as I did by studying genus and species of plants during my multiple certifications. I have 6 different certifications in various fields of aromatherapy. I learned way more playing with the oils than I ever did. Just crack open your reference guide. If you've read the first 100 pages of your reference guide, there's more training there than in most of the certifications that I ever got. Look up oils, look things up in your guides and start playing with them. And some things you're going to have really good success with, and some things you're not going to have really good success with. The Mini that I was talking about is the Game Plan Mini. And it's John's and my story in Young Living, and it's very, very, very powerful, really powerful story. So the moral of the story here is go play with your oils. You're going to learn a ton. Play. Every aromatherapist that I have spoken with agrees. You need to break out your reference guide and just start getting oils on your body. So what's my advice? If you love education, educate yourself with solid aromatherapy books instead of certifications. I have an entire box right behind me from Life Science Publishing that just came in with like 30 new books that I haven't read. I love reading. I'm always reading stuff. And then tinker and play and recreate what you read. So the home aromatherapist, in my opinion, is just as legit as one with a piece of paper on their desk. I feel more knowledgeable from what I've seen by laying my hands on people than anything that I ever learned in a classroom. That science of aromatherapy is all lab work, but your home and your friends and your family are your lab. So you have permission to go have some serious fun. There are a few points that I want to lay down when you're talking topical application. And so if you master just these few simple tips, you're going to be ready to use the oils with confidence. And that's what Fearless is all about, is confidence, right? So when and why to dilute. My rule of thumb is always dilute with kids and always dilute the first time that you use an oil on an adult. And then after that, I generally don't dilute unless I see redness, which can be toxins escaping the skin. It could be a reaction with something already on your skin. You may have sensitive skin, or you may have an interaction with a pharmaceutical drug that is in your system. So for more information on drugs and oils, there's a book called Scott Johnson's Evidence-Based Essential Oil Therapy. That has got a really good guide in there in the center if you're on a lot of pharmaceuticals, and just how they interplay with oils. The rule of thumb is just always have a carrier with you. Always. If your skin turns red, don't panic. Just use a carrier oil. So I always keep one handy in my purse because I never know how my body's going to respond on a different day. It doesn't mean that the oil is making you sick. It means that it's doing what it was designed to do. You don't want it working that fast. Your body, pulling it in so quickly that your skin is turning red. A carrier oil is any oil whose molecules are larger than essential oils. So a few different carrier oils are olive oil, grapeseed oil, hemp seed, jojoba, macadamia. I've been playing with emu oil lately and I love it for my face. Sweet almond oil is the favorite of aromatherapists. So I've read a lot of books on aromatherapy and that's the one that's probably most recommended. Coconut oil is really good if you're using it anywhere other than your face. It likes to clog your pores on your face, so I just stay away from that. My personal favorite is V6 from Young Living, and it's a blend of 6 of the top carrier oils, and that's what I like to use on my kids. So whenever you guys can send people back to the virtual office to purchase things, that's always a good idea. You can apply carrier oil on your skin before you expect redness or after, because it's going to work either way. So here's a pro tip when using carrier oils. When your starter kit arrives, the first thing to do is make a roll-on with a carrier oil. So if you can buy 10 mil roll-ons, you can get those on Amazon really, really inexpensively. I recommend the ones with the metal roller ball. I like those much better than the plastic ones. And I keep a carrier in my purse. I keep one in my car. I keep one in a few strategic places in the house. Sure, Scott Johnson's book was Evidence-Based Essential Oil Therapy, and it's just up on Amazon. It's got a green stripe across it, unless he changes the cover, but last time I checked. So if I ever have any kind of redness, I've got a carrier at the ready just to dilute those essential oils that are on my skin. If you don't have access to Amazon and you want to start with your kit immediately, you can, we used to have share-it bottles in there, but now we don't have share-it bottles in there anymore. So I would just say as soon as you place the order for your kit, just go get a couple of roll-on bottles or ask your upline if they got a couple of bottles, the person that signed you up, all right? So that's going to give you access to carrier pretty quickly. Or when you order your starter kit, add V6 to the kit right away. Throw it on your ER order. So this brings us to challenge number 2, and I told you I'm going to be putting these challenges up on the page and then picking winners for completing the challenges. So place 3 of the oils. This is your challenge. We got 10 challenges over the course of Fearless. Place 3 of the oils from your starter kit in strategic places where you will use them. Strategic places. So maybe your feet are sore and you're going to walk every single day, so put Panaway by your shoes. Maybe you are working from home right now and put a diffuser right where you're working and put Stress Away right there where you're working. Maybe you're trying to help your children homeschool from home right now and work your job at the same time. Definitely going to need Stress Away by you and probably by them too, right? Maybe you are doing a little liver support, and so you want to go grab lemon oil, the lemon vitality that comes in your starter kit. Maybe you keep that in the kitchen because you can just grab it in the morning, put a couple drops in your water, and bam, a little really gentle love for your liver. So 90% of oiling is just putting the oils in your path. So here are some of my favorite places. So when this video ends, you guys go grab like 3 oils, any 3. You have more than your starter kit, most of you guys now. So go grab any 3 oils and just put them in a place where you're going to run into them. I love frankincense in my bathroom because frankincense is super, super good right here, if you know what I mean, jelly bean, and right here, if you know what I mean, jelly bean, and right here, if you know what I mean, jelly bean. So I love frankincense on my skin. So Panaway by my shoes, frankincense on my bathroom counter to add to my Art Gentle face wash, lemon vitality on my kitchen counter to add to my water for some gentle liver support. We just talked about that. Stress Away in my car, Raven next to my diffuser by my bedstand. I also keep a small bottle of water there so that I don't have to run to the bathroom to refill the water in my diffuser every single night. So these are just those little things that you're more likely to use it if you have things in your path to be able to use it. You get the idea. Place them where you will use them. It makes all the difference to have your oils line of sight. I'd also snag some V6 oil from the virtual office. I told you this on your first ER order. So you've always got that carrier handy if you need to dilute. Let's talk about photosensitive oils. So there's a few oils that are photosensitive, and that means you don't want to put them on your skin and then go out in the sun. Photosensitivity happens when the plant material is processed and then that part of the plant that photosynthesizes is still preserved. And then when the sunlight hits it, it wants to photosynthesize on your arm, and you can get a really good burn by wearing those oils for prolonged periods of time in the sun. Okay, furanocoumarins, this is a really big aromatherapy word. I try not to use big words with you guys, but that's a compound in some oils that can greatly increase UV sensitivity. So while most photosensitive oils are citrus, there are actually some other oils that contain compounds or mixes of compounds that have the same effect as those furanocoumarins, meaning that they're not really sun safe either. And the nice thing is in your virtual office, you can look at a listing of which oils those are as you're picking your oils up. The side of the bottle, the oils bottle, will tell you if that oil is photosensitive, and it'll tell you to stay out of direct sunlight for 12 to 48 hours after applying. The oils that come in the starter kit that are photosensitive, if that's all you got as your kit, is Citrus Fresh, Lemon, Stress Away. You guys probably plan on those, but also Digize and Thieves. Thieves has lemon oil in it, right? If you accidentally apply one of those oils, just make sure that your skin is covered up. If you're going to be outside gardening or you're going to go watch your kids play soccer, there's a wonderful color-coded chart called Suggested Product Claims Chart that shows you which oils are photosensitive. You can access that chart in the virtual office on the Young Living website under Member Resources and Product Education. Now, I'm reading through Fearless and I'm realizing there might be kind of a cool little guide that I could put together for you guys as a download on the Fearless page that just sort of suggests your new members do some of these things. So like adding V6 to their VO, to their first ER order, going on Amazon and grabbing some roll-on bottles, going to the suggested product resources chart and just printing that off. Some of these little extras that are not in the 10 challenges that maybe it'd be neat to have just a quick little checklist that you could print out. So I'll work on that this week and see if we can get that launched on the page for you guys as well. I think that might be a nice tool for you as you're taking your team through Fearless. So while I'm on the topic of your virtual office, do you know what that is? And these are for your brand new people, right? So Young Living has an entire website of your whole history with the company. You can look at your orders, you can place quick orders, you can get on the Essential Rewards program to start earning free oils. You can see if anybody has signed up under you. You can check out your paycheck. You can learn a lot about the company just by going to the Getting Started videos that are right on the first page, all right? So that brings me to challenge number 3. That means I'm going to have to put 2 challenges up for you guys for a contest. Challenge number 3, there's a tab in the virtual office labeled Getting Started right on the front page. So click through each of the videos to learn about this incredible company. And this goes for those of you veterans who I want you to go to your Getting Started tab and go make sure you've watched all the videos. So log in, go to youngliving.com, click on your country and language. I use United States English, but whatever you are. In the upper right-hand corner, there's a sign-in button. And if you've purchased a Young Living starter kit, you made a login and a password and a PIN. Now, if you just signed up recently, you can write that information right in the front of Fearless. So if you haven't seen this yet, I'm just going to flip my camera on here and show you, but it has it right here. So member ID, your 4-digit PIN, and your password, you write right in the front cover of Fearless. So I give this to them at sign up right away when they got their kit. We write it down so that they can always find the book and know exactly how to log into the virtual office, right? So you're going to use your login name and your password to get into the VO. You just simply click sign in and you're off and running. The Young Living University section has a couple of wonderful PowerPoints that you can click through in just a couple of minutes for some valuable oils training. And I want you to watch all the Getting Started videos and check out the links to complete this challenge. You got to go watch all the Getting Started videos. So back to topical application. That's what we're talking about tonight. And I'm going to wrap up in just a page or 2 here because I don't want this video to go too long. So uncomfortable spots. There's one more thing to tell you about topical application. I just want you to be careful where you place the oils. If you're just starting out, stick with the feet to start. You guys might have seen this out there as a graphic. This is something I've trained on for 6 years since I've been involved in Young Living. We have a little saying that says go low and go slow. So if you're just beginning with oils, start with the feet because they have the largest pores on the human body, and yet the skin is really tough. No, it's not in the old Fearless books. We updated all this, so it's in the new Fearless books. We updated it for all the new things in the VO and Unstuck and the new starter kits and all that. So you're going to want to look for the Fearless with the purple stripe across the top. So I have that little word mnemonic that I share with my team: go low and go slow. You're going to start on your feet, low, and then dilute if you're unsure or uneasy. Once you're comfortable with an oil, then you can use it in other places. Don't ever place oils inside the ears, in private areas, or near the eyes, because it can be really uncomfortable. If that ever happens, you're just going to use your V6 oil and dilute it immediately by rubbing it all over the skin that was exposed. Don't flush your eyes with water. And people talk to me about all the time, oh yeah, I got peppermint in my eye and I'm flushing it with water. That's great. But do you know about oil and water, right? They don't mix. So use a carrier oil instead. Just put a little bit of V6 on your finger and rub the V6 into your eye. I swear to you, it's going to go faster than water. So here's some of my favorite ways of using oils topically. Some of my favorite places on the body to place essential oils are on my big toes topically. That's where the nerve endings come out for your brain. Or on my chest, or under my third and fourth fingers. Now on your chest, it can be a sensitive area, so you might need some V6 for that. My third and fourth fingers, that's where the nerve endings come out for your sinuses. I like it over my heart, especially if I'm feeling grumpy. Anywhere on my feet or my hands, on my spine, there's big bundles of nerves there, and the inside of the top of my ear, but never in the ear hole where the eardrum is, and then on the back of my neck. So those are just places where I apply. If you haven't tried any of those places, I think I need to add this to the Fearless checklist of all the things that you need to do in Fearless, right? All the assignments. Go try all those places. Just seriously, like, grab the oils. One of the challenges in here is to apply an oil where you've never applied one. Like, try it. Maybe you haven't put it over your heart. Go grab one of the emotional oils and put it over your heart. All right, go grab something from the Feelings Kit, put it over your heart. If you haven't put anything on the top of your ear, those are just wonderful emotion points. So try putting it there. The back of your neck, that's a wonderful place to put it. Also could be kind of sensitive back there. So put a little V6 if it bugs you. You can be strategic about where you place the oils, or you can just slather them about anywhere. Belly button is wonderful. That's a great place to put oils. You can put them just about anywhere and get benefits. So if you're unsure of where to place them, start with your hands and your feet, because that's where most of your nerve endings come out, and you're just going to hit a lot of points on the human body by beginning there. If you want to be more purposeful, look up VitaFlex points on Google for images of those nerve endings in your hands, feet, and spine, and then place the oils in those spots. And remember our rule of thumb: go low and go slow. Start with the feet and then use less oil than you think that you're going to need. You can always add more oil later on, always. So challenge number 4. Sarah, you're giving me all the challenges. I got to do all these challenges in one thing. I think we're going to have 5 challenges just for the topical application. That takes us halfway through our challenges, which is pretty cray-cray. Oh, nope, 6 challenges for topical application. Oh, nope, 7 challenges for topical application. I don't know if we're going to get to all of these tonight. Let me see here. Yeah, we probably won't until we get to earning. 7 of the 10 challenges are just on topical application. So you know I love getting oils on my skin, right? If you've gone a whole day and haven't gotten oils on your skin, you need to go do that. All right, go do that. So challenge number 4, to get you confidently using your starter kit, I want you to apply an oil tonight in a place where you've never applied one. It might be on the mastoid bone behind your ear, or it might be on your big toe. You might talk to your spouse and sucker them into giving you a massage with some stress away on your spine or other places, right? But now your private areas doesn't feel good. Or the bottoms of your feet. And then next week, just try a new spot. So I started giving hand massages to my kids each night with a little bit of lavender oil, and I go like 5 minutes and I gently rub it into their skin. And I found after a few nights with 5 kids, at least one of them would get back in line. And they kept trying to trick me into giving them a second hand massage. But it was a great way to bond with my kids. There are many 5-minute tutorials on hand and foot massages on YouTube. Even if you learned one small technique, like gently pulling the ends of the fingers, it can be really relaxing. So if you don't know which oil to apply topically, just use the same trick that I showed you with oils in your diffuser. You're going to smell a few of them, see which one your body wants, and you're going to be surprised because it's not always going to be the same oil. I mean, even though I love Stress Away, it's not always the oil I'm drawn to, or Valor. Sometimes I'm not drawn to Valor, which is crazy. So some more topical techniques. We're going to dig into some deep aromatherapy here. Valor on the big toe. So deep aromatherapy, if you're getting pretty comfortable trying oils in new places on your body for your oils, let's pull our attention off where you're placing them and talk about how you're doing it. And this is where you can really start to get the most out of your kit. There's 2 types of topical application in the aromatherapy world: layering and blending. Layering is when you put each oil on your skin right out of the bottle. And you might lay down Stress Away and then lavender and then Citrus Fresh, one right after another. If you wait 30 seconds before applying the next oil, it gives your body a chance to use it a little more effectively. So this requires no preparation, just some time with your starter kit. You can come up with some pretty fantastic recipes just by playing around. Now, how do I make up layering combos? It just comes with an awareness of your needs. Maybe you're falling asleep one night and you notice that you broke a nail. And so you can look up nail bed support recipe the next day and try layering the oils on your fingers. Every time you're thinking of something that's bothering you, make note and see if there are essential oils out there that you can use. Just get into those reference guides and check it out. My favorite reference guide is the Life Science, the one on Life Science, the pocket reference guide is awesome. So chances there's some kind of an oil out there that might support that. So it's already been thought of. I keep a checklist of things that I see on my husband or that I see on my family, and then I do a little digging to see if there's something in the essential oils world for what I see. And I'm amazed at the millions of uses for oils every single time that I delve in. So there's hacks for things as simple as DIY citronella floating candles to lavender lemonade. That's on the Young Living blog. If you have not had a chance to go to the Young Living blog, you need to go to the Young Living blog and just start exploring and look at some of the different things on that blog. So here's some of my favorite recipes or resources for new recipes to try. The Young Living blog, which has won awards, by the way, for how well it's done. It's literally youngliving.com/blog. Very easy. French Aromatherapy by Jen O'Sullivan is one of my favorite aromatherapy books. Conquering Toxic Emotions by one of my fellow diamonds, Rhonda Favano. She is just an amazing woman. She now has a workbook for that book. It's a great book. The Art of Blending with Essential Oils by Deborah Rayburn. She's a wonderful Royal Crown Diamond. She has done so much for Team Young Living. So anytime you can get anything of hers and support hers. Matter of fact, another book she wrote, Gentle Babies, is my favorite baby book of all time. And that says a lot, because I've read a lot of baby books and a lot of books with information on babies, but Deborah knocked it out of the ballpark. I'm a doula, and so I will go into delivery rooms and help moms, especially with aromatherapy, while I'm in the delivery room with them, and I always have Gentle Babies with me while I'm in the delivery room. Always, always, always. I never leave that behind. So that's a great book. Essentials, 50 Answers to Common Questions About Essential Oils by Dr. Lindsay Elmore. I love Lindsay. She's a good friend, and she did a great job putting that book together. The Essential Oils Desk Reference is my favorite book of all time. That is the first book that anybody on my team gets, is the Desk Reference by Life Science Publishing. There's an oil for that, A Girlfriend's Guide to Using Essential Oils Between the Sheets by Lucy Libido. Don't worry, it's rated G. It's awesome. I'll take some time tomorrow and pop these on the Facebook page and just hyperlink them all for you. Melissa Pepping, another amazing Crown Diamond. She's one of my favorite people in Young Living, and she has just put some phenomenal resources together. I mean, everything from perfume books to just simple handbooks. Everything she's done, I love. Everything she's done. I'm not saying that I like this one more than this one, but the resource that I use the most of hers is Chemical Free Home 1, 2, and 3. I like to send those as ER gifts for my faithful ER people. So that's just a wonderful resource. And then Healing Oils of the Bible is still my personal favorite book of all time, because I was afraid to dabble in oils. I was worried that they were like fringe, and I didn't really know what they were. And that took my fear out of oiling. I love the way David explains that. And David Stewart, man, anytime you can get anything from him and just support him, he's an amazing, amazing diamond in Young Living, and good friend to Gary Young. So my two favorite sites to pick up Young Living friendly aromatherapy books. I'm on Life Science Publishing pretty much every month ordering stuff. That's discoverlsp.com. And they're really good to us. They carry Game Plan. They carry Fearless, so you can stock up on Fearless there. And then growinghealthyhomes.com. That's run by Sarah Johnson. She's a Royal Crown Diamond. Beautiful, beautiful woman. Amazing diamond in Young Living. And so I really highly recommend supporting those sites and what they do. So blending is a fun technique that saves time when you want to use multiple oils together. So you can use the blends for perfumes, skincare, massages, your favorite diffuser oils pre-mixed, salves, ointments. I also make vitality blends ahead of time in a single bottle just to make it easier to put together recipes that I use frequently. So there's only 3 real rules when you're blending oils. I told you, I've got 6 different certifications in different fields of aromatherapy, and basically these are the only rules that are out there. Put it all in the same bottle, write down what you did. That's really important, and let it sit for at least 24 hours. That's going to allow the oils to meld together. So let me give you an example. When I need some support for my respiratory system, I love to use Thieves Vitality, Oregano Vitality, and Frankincense Vitality. So it looks something like this. 10 drops of Thieves Vitality, 8 drops of Oregano Vitality, and 2 drops of Frankincense Vitality in a veggie capsule. And if I plan on using that recipe for a while, I personally like to use it hourly. I have just amazing results with that. It saves me some time to make a blend and just mix it all in one bottle, and then I don't have to count it all out. I could just let it sit for 24 hours and then just drop it right into the veggie cap. Nancy asked if I would put all these challenges together in one place. Sure can. That's called the Fearless Calendar. It's already done for you, and it's on the Fearless page. You can just go print it off for free. All right. So I'll put the following into a bottle, and then I let it sit for a day. I do 100 drops of Thieves Vitality, 80 drops of Oregano Vitality, 20 drops of Frankincense Vitality, and then I go to place it in a veggie capsule. You can find those on Young Living's website, and it's already pre-mixed, and I just fill the capsule up without trying to grab multiple bottles and open the caps while I have a veggie cap filled with other oils in my hand. So just a simple way to get multiple oils in or on your body. Another good use for blending is nighttime oils. So each time my kids have a certain set of oils that they love to use every single night. So right now, Benjamin loves gratitude oil. He asks for that every single night. He's always loved Cool Azul on his back at night. And he's a Shutran man. Like, he's a Shutran religiously. He's a 15-year-old boy, and he just loves it. He wears it as his cologne. So I make up their mix and I blend it, and it's just easy for me to apply it to their chest and feet every single night. I mix that blend up with V6 so that it's already got the carrier in it and it's ready for their skin. So this is going to bring me to challenge 5, and this is where we're going to end tonight. And then we'll pop back in and keep talking topical application tomorrow night. So challenge 5 is to make up your own blend and place it in a strategic place in the house so that you'll remember to use it. Find a need that your family has. Maybe it's relaxation for bedtime, or maybe it's a blend to soothe your feet after a long walk. Or pro tip, once you have your first empty bottle out of your starter kit, because that's the goal of Fearless, is to empty the box, right? We want to empty all the bottles. Once you have your first empty bottle, you can recycle it as a container for a custom blend, and then you have no waste. So let's piggyback off this challenge of getting oils on the body and just kick it up a notch. I also want you to think of 3 things that you'd like to tackle with your body over the next month. Maybe you could use Cool Azul Pain Cream for relief from minor muscle and joint aches, or arthritis, or strains, or bruises, or sprains. Maybe you'd like to try Young Living's Thieves Cough Drops to relieve coughs, or sore throats, or cool nasal passages. Make it a point to do 3 things that you want to tackle this month, and then add those products to your order. And then next month, make a new list and start all over again. All right? That's where we're going to pause for right now. I hope you guys are enjoying this aromatherapy training. And you know what? One of the neat ways, I haven't really talked much about this, but one thing that you can do is you can actually use these classes, and you can use these graphics and use them on Project Broadcast and text them to your new oilers. So, you do a 10-day class with them, and you text them the graphic, and you give them the link, and you do aromatherapy training right on their cell phones every single day for 10 days until they're fully trained on using their starter kit. I mean, think about what your new oiler is going to learn. They're going to learn topical application. They're going to learn how to make veggie caps. They're going to put V6 on their first order. They're going to label read. They're going to do all these really cool things. So for my business builders out there, this is a really great resource. And if you're watching it because you want to get aromatherapy training, you're in an awesome place. So I love you guys. I'll see you for the next video. Same bat time, same bat channel, and we're just going to keep plowing away through Fearless. Join me for day 6 next.